The future of Inside the NBA on ESPN is sparking excitement and a bit of anxiety among fans who cherish the show's unique vibe. But here's the big question. Will ESPN manage to keep the magic alive without messing up what made the show legendary? ESPN's president of content, Burke Magnus, is stepping up to reassure viewers that the iconic program won't be tampered with as it transitions to the new network this October. When the beloved Inside the NBA team makes its debut on ESPN this season, Magnus told The Athletic that fans can expect the crew to be featured during the pregame, halftime, and postgame segments. This is a clear signal that ESPN intends to maintain the comprehensive coverage that viewers have come to love. When pressed about whether the postgame discussions will be as lengthy and in-depth as they were on TNT, Magnus was candid. That is our goal. We want it to be as close to that as possible. He acknowledged that ESPN's usual practice has been to quickly transition to SportsCenter after games, but emphasized that on roughly 200 to 300 nights a year, the network will allow Inside the NBA to run its full course. Details about how ESPN will integrate Inside the NBA into its programming are expected to be revealed over the coming weeks. However, Magnus confirmed that the legendary lineup, Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal, will be part of ESPN's opening night coverage on October 22nd, featuring the Cleveland Cavaliers versus New York Knicks and San Antonio Spurs versus Dallas Mavericks games. Magnus assured fans they're going to get the show they love in a format very similar to what they're used to. The production will remain in Atlanta, handled by the same team that produced it for Turner, and the set will look almost identical aside from a new logo. This continuity is exactly what ESPN aims for, preserving the familiar feel that has made the show a staple. There will be a brief pause for Inside the NBA early in the season due to ESPN's scheduling, which is more backloaded compared to TNT's. However, the crew will return for the high-profile Christmas Day games and will be featured throughout all of ESPN's playoff broadcasts. For over 3 decades, Inside the NBA has been a cornerstone of basketball broadcasting on TNT. Since 1990, Ernie Johnson has expertly steered the show, balancing the dynamic personalities of analysts Kenny Smith, joined 1998, Charles Barkley, 2000, and Shaquille O'Neal, 2011. The program's excellence has been recognized with 21 Sports Emmy Awards, and notably, in 2020, it received the Kurt Gowdy Media Award from the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, the first NBA telecast to earn this prestigious honor. With TNT no longer part of the NBA's new 11-year, $76 billion media rights deal, ESPN secured a landmark licensing agreement to bring Inside the NBA to Disney's platforms. Magnus emphasized, when these guys are on, we're going to let them do their thing. He acknowledged that ESPN faces more logistical challenges than Turner due to its broader range of live events and multiple platforms, but the goal remains the same, to preserve the show's essence. He likened it to acquiring a beloved program like College Game Day and refusing to cut its runtime from 3 hours to 2, something ESPN has no intention of doing. On nights when the Inside the NBA team isn't on air, ESPN will rely on its NBA Countdown crew, which includes Malika Andrews, Bob Myers, Kendrick Perkins, and Michael Wilbon, among others. Magnus shared these insights during an in-depth interview with the Sports Media podcast, which will be released soon. One key difference will be the scheduling. ESPN's NBA broadcast rights differ from Turner's, with ESPN holding Wednesday doubleheaders, Saturday night games on ABC, Sunday afternoon games on ABC, and occasional Friday matchups. Turner's schedule focused on Tuesdays and Thursdays, with no sports programming following games, which allowed Inside the NBA more freedom to run longer. This shifting scheduling could impact how the show fits into ESPN's overall programming. So, here's the part most people miss. While ESPN promises to keep Inside the NBA intact, the change in network and scheduling nuances might subtly alter the viewing experience. Will the show maintain its legendary spontaneity and chemistry? Or will the new environment impose unseen constraints? What do you think? Can ESPN truly replicate the magic? Or is this the beginning of a new era for Inside the NBA that might divide longtime fans? Share your thoughts below.